Thank
My
you.
name is Zibah Abaku, a member of the amazing team, also known as the Kindom-driven Leadership Team. So, the Kindom-driven Leadership Team is a team where we learn leadership skills in a godly way while embracing godliness, leadership, and teamwork. So, throughout this year, we learned a lot of things, from different books to different videos and the Bible as well. We talked about Power of Character in Leadership by Dr. Miles Monroe. If there are 3 points I learned about this book was that, number 1, integrity and character is foundational. Character is foundational. Why do I say this? In the sense that if you're very smart, you're very intelligent, you're brilliant, but you don't have character, you lack attitude, then you don't have anything, because people judge you based on your character. You can be smart and you go for a job interview and then you answer all the questions, but you're rude, you snub people, you don't do things the right way. Your character matters. Then temptation also reveals true character. When you pretend to be someone who you're not, you act nice in front of people, you pretend that you're a very good person, but then you get tempted. In an instance, maybe someone comes to challenge you or someone insults you anyhow and you don't like the thing. You have been pretending to be nice and to be kind, but once you see someone insulting you, you get angry and you start insulting the person, saying all manner. Before, people would think that you're a kind person, you're a very reserved person, you're someone that doesn't fight. But once you're tempted, you see that your true character comes out. If you're tempted and decide, oh no, I have to do this, I'm a godly person, I'm a Christian, I can't do this, and you're tempted and you don't exhibit a bad character, then people will know, oh yes, this is the person's true character. But when you're tempted to do something and you don't know you're tempted, you just act abnormally in the situation, you can get into trouble. You can even lose the job that you wanted to get. Then we also learned in the book of Proverbs about trusting in God. So in Proverbs, the book talks about wisdom. One book of the Bible that you can get wisdom from is the book of Proverbs, because there are some things that God might tell you that might not really sound sane humanly, but when you do it, you actually find out that it's sane. It's something that is actually going to help you. So you have to trust God. Then we also learned about wisdom versus folly. There were very many instances in the Bible where people were wise and where people were foolish. There were very many instances that some foolish characters were exhibited by some people there. And then some people also exhibited wise characters. And when they needed characters, when they needed to be wise, when they were seeking wisdom, they asked God and God granted them the wisdom that they needed. We also learned about fearing God. Before you can ask God for something, you have to fear Him, have that intimate relationship with Him. And then when you ask things from Him, He will surely give you. We also learned about Paul, a very great man in the Bible. He teaches us to lead by example. Paul was a person that always led by example. He always did things. Before he does things, he always asks God, and God always used to give him the wisdom to do what he used to. He always used to lead people by example, and I really like that about Paul. So later on, we learned about the fruits of the Spirit and the acts of the flesh. The fruits of the Spirit are things that are exhibited by Christians and believers, while acts of the flesh are exhibited by unbelievers and people who don't believe in God. So some examples of the fruits of
here. Can I ask you a question here?
Yes, please.
Is it possible sometimes to see people who profess to be Christians sometimes exhibit some acts of the flesh?
Yes, please. It's very possible.
Okay.
But when they do that, they need to first of all admit that they have gone off track.
Okay.
Then they need to go back to God and ask for forgiveness.
Okay.
And then when they ask for forgiveness, they need to continue doing the right things. Continue reading the Bible. They even need to become closer to God. And when the devil is trying to tempt them to go back into that acts of the flesh, they have to back off.
Okay.
So, yes.
Thank you.
They also learned about the acts of the flesh. The acts of the flesh are things exhibited by unbelievers, although we still have some Christians that exhibit the acts of the flesh in some situations. But the acts of the flesh are mostly exhibited by unbelievers. For example, rage, drinking, sexual thoughts, sexual acts. Those are acts of the flesh, and they are not supposed to be exhibited by Christians.
Do you mean, because when you say sexual acts, I mean, if you mean immoral behaviors?
Immoral, yes, immoral sexual
married, so like maybe the fornication and adultery, because married people have the right to go into sexual act, right? So try to be clear with what you mean by acts of the flesh. Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
Move on to the next, please.
Thanks for the correction. I meant immoral sexual acts and thoughts. Then we also learned about last week. We learned about a lady called Janet Boynes. Before we learned about her, we experienced some videos. We watched some videos about people who prioritize. How you have to put. You have to prioritize some things. You have to prioritize some things. Like, for example, your relationship with God has to be prioritized. Your job has to be prioritized. Your children, your family has to be prioritized. We learned about that in a video about how a woman had some rocks, and then there was a man interviewing her. So the bigger rocks, she put them first, and then the smaller rocks, she now put them last. And then I think he asked a question in the meeting, why did she put the smaller rocks last? Because they were things that are not supposed to be prioritized like that. They are priorities, yes, but the bigger rocks are supposed to be prioritized more than the smaller rocks. So they have to put their priorities last.
Thank you. I remember it's linked to the productivity subject. Yeah.
Yes.
Because if you want to be productive, you have to prioritize. And prioritize what matters, what's important, not the tiny distractions. Thank you for bringing this up. Continue.
Yes, please. So then later on, we learned about a lady called Janet Boynes, who was immoral act at a very young stage of her life. She was molested by her dad. Yes, she was molested by her dad. Her dad sent the children to go and buy something, and then she was left alone at home, and then later got molested by her dad. So from that time, she had that mentality that men are going to always break you. So she started going into homosexual acts. She started falling in love with women.
Lesbianism with women. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, she started falling in love with women. At a point, she even wanted to marry the person, but she wanted to have, she called it a ceremony, because marriage is not really about, marriage has to be a man to a woman. So she called it a ceremony. They were supposed to even have a ceremony, but that she called it off. And then at a point, there was a woman who came to her and showed her that, because her mom was not really there for her. She wasn't there for her. So there was this lady that at a point in her life came for her and showed her the motherly love that she never had with her mother. So she felt like the woman was going to do her good, and then she went even deeper into the homosexual acts, and then glory be to God, she came out of it and she stopped doing all those things. So that's what I've learned throughout this year in the Bible study group. And I also want to thank Auntie Nengi for giving me the opportunity to speak about the things I learned. Thank you.